welcome to Global Boxing Network. It's Prophecy Onassis with my colleague Brendan Gibbons at the end and Mario Serrano. Another beautiful Las Vegas day, and we have a two-time decorated world champion in the building, Regis Prograis. What's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, brother? All good.
Sir.
Really
Good.
All good.
Yes. So we gonna get started. Mario, let's get it cooking, man. Let's crack.
Well, my question to Regis is, coming up, you said you were a late starter, kind of started late in teens, which is even more amazing to do what you did. Talk a little bit about how that start happened, some of your childhood experiences that got you really into the sport of boxing.
Right. Well, first off, bro, like, since I was young, I loved to fight. Like, literally loved to fight. So being from New Orleans, like, it's like you kind of got to fight, to be honest. Like, you got to know how to fight or read people, like, talk about people, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what you're going to be faced with, right? So, of course, like, me, you see my skin color, I'm red, right? So, like, usually when I was coming up, all the red dudes got picked on. They looked at it soft and stuff like that. So, for me, that's what they looked at. And they used to call me a pretty boy when I was younger, and I never wanted to be called, I hated that. I always wanted to be like, never wanted to be a pretty boy. So I never cared about like danger, and I never was scared of nothing, but I love to fight. Like, so when I was younger, like, people be fighting, I have to be angry to fight. Like, I can be smiling and fight. And I'll talk about that later, even in my boxing career. But I always love to fight. So originally I started karate. My dad put me in karate and stuff like that. And then, but what happened with that, I was too rough for karate. Like, basically, they put me in karate and I was sparring, and the karate gloves were little bitty gloves on, right? And I started early and I was real good when I was like young. Then I stopped and I played football and stuff, and I came back. And when I came back, I was just boxing the people in the karate gloves. So I hit somebody, and it was like I hurt them. I hurt somebody real bad. So it was like the sensei told my dad, he was like, he can't do it. He hitting too hard. He got to go box or play football again. So they kind of kicked me out of karate because I was too rough and stuff. So then I went back to playing football. And the same thing, fight on the street and all that type of stuff. But what happened was I was playing football in high school, my 9th and 10th grade year. And so my 10th grade year, we got in the gloves. All the football players fight in the gloves and stuff like that. So I got in the gloves a few times, and I was beating everybody. And so, like, the last time I remember, man, I fought this dude. I was in the 10th grade. He was a senior. He was a star on the football team, and I beat him up bad. And so after that, the coach told me, he pulled me to the side. And this how ruthless New Orleans is. The coach was in there watching us, right? All the cheerleaders, the coach, they was in the locker room with us, right? With us in there. So the coach was in there. He pulled me. He was like, look, like, you probably don't have a future in football, but you might have one in boxing. And I was already thinking that I didn't want to play football anyway. Dudes come back from the summer. I was playing 9th, like I said, 10th grade year. They come back in the summertime. In the summer, I'm in the street and all that stuff and playing around and chasing girls. And these dudes in camps, they come back darker, stronger, bigger, faster. I'm like, I don't want to play football anymore. And then me and our coach son played the same position. We played running back and cornerback. So I was like, I didn't want to do that anyway. So the coach put me to the side. He was like, you probably don't have a future in this. You probably have one in boxing. So literally, I think that same day, I turned my football equipment in, and I told my mom I want to go to boxing gym. And this was in 10th grade. I was 16. And so then after that, we started going to the boxing gym. But she put me out. She didn't want to bring me in. First, it was too far. But then my grades started dropping. So she put me out. She cooked me out. She took me out of boxing. And so then summertime came. Right when summertime came, I found a gym in a night one, New Orleans night one. And I went there, and I literally loved it. Like, I couldn't get enough of it. So I went there every single day. And I didn't even really have a coach. It was the dude. He had a gym in his backyard. And I was just there, like, training every day. And then that was school get out in May, and then Katrina hit in August. I think I barely had no fights, and so I was, like I said, that's really my start, but it wasn't, because Katrina hit, and then after that, Hurricane Katrina, and I had to just move around, and eventually I went to Houston, and that's kind of when I really started. When I went to Savannah Box Gym, that's when I really, really started. And for me, it's like, when you being around those people, you kind of believe in yourself more. Like, when I was around that, bro, Holyfield was there at the end of his career. Tyson, my favorite fighter. Tyson was my favorite fighter of all time, and he beat Tyson twice. My bad. I spit on my bad, bro. But anyways, so yeah, like, he beat Tyson twice. And I was around Holyfield, and just being around him, like, damn, like, this Holyfield, this dude made like $400 million, bro, in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, bro. So, and I'm around him, and then not just him, Errol Lara. I think Lara's still a champion right now. Lara, Rigondeaux, Vinus Morozin, rest in peace. The twins, Omar Henry, like
great fighters.
like all these great fighters. And I was still a young pup coming up. You know, Omar, I was still a young pup coming up, and I just like, damn, like, I just kept going, and I saw myself doing it, and eventually just kept going, and I went to like I ended up being ranked in the country, and I never thought I could do none of this. Nobody never thought, cause like when I was a bleeder when I was younger, like everything you can, and then, I would bleed when I put my hand wraps on. Bro. Like I was such a bleeder, bro. Like I couldn't wear white shirts, like it would just be like brown. You know what I'm saying? All full. So I know nobody never really believed that I could do it, but for me, I just kept going.
So when did it click to you, like, you knew you were getting the fights, but when did it click to you somewhere inside, like, I can be a champion?
It was always gradual. I never thought it because it was always very, very gradual. Cause I remember, I think like my 13th fight, I lost my first fight, and then I came back and I just won, and I was beating everybody, and then I fought that dude again, and I blast him out, like look way, way different. And so I'm like, damn, I'm getting better, you know? Like my confidence, it's just really for me, like, just in period, like boxing is about confidence. You gotta know you're gonna beat this dude, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I believe. I believe like, at first my confidence was lower, but then my confidence was growing more and more and more, cause I'll be sparring with these guys, these dudes, they'll be on showbox and stuff and fighting, and I'm sparring with them and I'm whooping them, and I was still an amateur at the time. I'm like, damn, like, so my confidence keep growing more and more, and I kept, for me, it was a gradual thing, all very, very gradual. And like I said, I got to, I ended up fighting the state championships. That was my first time Golden Glove state championships, and I fought Errol Spence the first time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I fought Errol. And at the time, Errol was like a 5-time national champion.
Yeah.
And it was my first time going. So I remember, man, like my coach was telling me, like, if you get dropped, look to me. I'm like, what? Like, who you think this dude is, Superman? Like, I don't care, bro. I don't care who nobody is. At that time, I didn't care who nobody was. I don't care who you are, bro. You could be, like I said, Mike Tyson's my favorite fighter. It could be him. I didn't care. Like, if I'm gonna fight you, we gonna fight. And you a human just like I am, and we gonna fight. So, like I said, I was fighting Errol, and my coach said that, and then after the fight, he won. But after the fight, man, it was in Dallas. He's from Dallas, and after that, a lot of people in Dallas, they're like, man, I thought you won. You did good. You won and stuff. I'm like, damn, I didn't feel like I won, but he got the decision. But still,
you earned respect off the fans and the people.
A lot of respect off that, you know. And it's just like I said, that it was gradual. It kept being gradual increase in my confidence more and more. And then like by the time, eventually I fought in the Olympic trials. I lost in the trials. I was ranked number 4 in the country at 152 at the time. And then I had my first pro fight, and I ain't gonna lie, I was real nervous about my first, because the 8-ounce gloves, man, they different. If people don't understand, man, them 8-ounce gloves is something serious, bro. Like it's no joke.
It's funny how that little bit of difference is a big difference.
Man, it's so different to I know I might scare fighters if they see this, but it's so different to when you sparring with the 16s and with a head getting with 8s, it feel like the sparring, it feel like you don't even need a spar. That's what I felt like. It was like, cause they so different. It's like a real fight. The gloves, they so hard and it hurts so much to it's like, damn, it's no way you can really prepare for that unless you spar with 8-ounce gloves on, but you don't want to do that because you don't want to get hurt and you don't want to get cut in the gym.
So a lot of people say, what do you learn from your losses? We're not gonna go there. So what do you learn from your biggest victories? Because sometimes when you start winning a lot of people, I feel you can almost stop learning. Like you stop learning how to be hungry.
Right.
So what do you learn from your biggest victories?
I learn more from my losses. That's
did?
the thing. I learn. You learn from your losses more. I learn way more from my losses, because with when you get a victory, you can learn a little bit, but it's always the losses that make you learn more.
When you win, whatever problems you did have are out
that's
the
what
window.
I'm saying. Because
you won, you're like, all right, I may have got by.
Stuff
so
like
I always like when you get any victory, moral victory, any kind of victory. A lot of people don't talk how you learn from that. I learned more from my losses. I thought I asked the question because I thought I could pull something out, because I can't answer that myself. You win, I'll be like, well, I learned I won. I don't know what I learned from it. It's the adversity you learn from.
Well, so my first coach and manager, like, even after I would win, he would always kind of criticize me. So I would still learn. I guess I would still learn from my wins because it would be like, all right, you can't get hit with that in the next fight. If you step up, you can't get hit with that, or you gotta do this more. So I would still learn from my wins.
Criticism.
Yeah, basically. But he would never give me that. He would never just give me that I was looking for. You know, the validation I was kind of looking for. He would always kind of.
Which is good.
It is
you
good.
look back at it.
Yeah,
like,
looking back.
I won though, Dad. You could have done better.
Yeah, you could have been like this,
yeah.
basically. You know, so yeah.
Now you mentioned that you lost your first fight, but then you came back and beat that guy.
Yes.
So it reminds me of when I was coming up with Robert Guerrero.
Mm-hmm.
He was undefeated, hot. He just had a mental lapse, and I think he was just kind of looking past the guy, and he got his first L, and he learned a lot from that.
Right.
It was really just a mental lapse because he came back and knocked that dude out.
Okay.
So when you get that first loss and then you come back and you whoop him, it really comes down to your mindset as a fighter, because now you know that you can win, you can beat this guy, you're whipping everybody.
Right.
How was that mindset when you fought him the second time and carry that on?
So what happened was, when I first fought him, I wasn't watching boxing. I started studying a lot of boxing at the time. And at that time, when I fought him the second time, I watched nothing but Pernell Whitaker. You know, I went out there and I was just fighting. I remember I still got the fight on tape. I was just fighting like Pernell. I was being slick, jabbing, hitting him with a good body punches, and I just like blasted him out. So for me, and that's kind of one of my biggest success is like, I watch so many different people. I watch probably thousands of fights. All the fighters, almost anybody you can name, I didn't watch them. All their DVDs. That's one thing my dad did for me. Like, he helped me with, he used to just buy me boxing DVDs. Yeah. Like, it was a site, he getting all the, like, basically say one fighter in all their fights. All of them. Like, so I watched all Pernell fights, multiple times. And I remember coming out and I watched him so much, and I came out and I just like, fought like Pernell, and I blasted the dude out, and it felt good, and it was validation to where like, all right, this is working. Now, this is, because you always have, my bad, you always have some type of pivot in your career, and that was a pivotal moment for me. Like, all right, that upped my game more, because how you get better in boxing, like for me, I used to read a lot. I used to read a whole lot. Read, watch boxing, sparring, always sparring with better people, and so. I know I'm getting off subject, but one thing I did that made me way, way better, they had to do in that Ricardo Williams Jr. I don't know if y'all remember.
I remember him.
He was an Olympian.
Yes.
And he got out of jail, but he went to jail for some stuff, but he got out, and I was sparring with, I was one of his main sparring partners. As a left-handed, man, he was, amazing. I was like, I still talk, he's way older now. I still talk
when he got
to him,
locked up,
yeah, I was like, he was, man, he could have been one of the greatest ever. Just how good Ricardo Williams was. And I was like, damn, I want to fight like this dude. As a southpaw, I used to spar with him all the time, but he was more slick, but I had a lot of power. I was like, bro, if I could fight like this dude, I'm not gonna lie. If I could have sparred with him forever, if he would have stayed that and I could spar with him forever, I would have been unstoppable.
Because he was that good too.
Man, he was just that good, man. And I learned so much from him. I still talk to him to this day, like, bro, you taught me so much, about being a left-handed fighter. Because it's like, it's one thing to watch Pernell, because of course every southpaw should watch Pernell. I start watching Pacquiao, but you can't watch Pacquiao as a southpaw because you can't do that. That's a freak of nature, But we all, as a southpaw, we all should watch Pernell Whitaker.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
But then I got in there, and that was the closest thing to Pernell Whitaker to me. Being in there with somebody, and it just taught me just so much about like left-handed boxing, and it upped my game. It upped my game so much.
Pac-Man's a freak of nature.
Yeah, as a left-hander, I watch.
You can. He backs up, feints, slick and stuff. You can actually kind of mimic that. Manny, you can't do all this fucking.
Right. So who was your toughest opponent? Like your absolute toughest from start to finish in a fight?
Really? Y'all want to know Mr. Dude name? I forgot his name. It was like my 7th fight. I fought at 140. I fought at 40 my whole career. I fought at 147. I remember in this fight, it was only 6 rounds. And remember the first round, I dropped him. I don't remember none of the rounds. And I stopped him in the 6th round. That's all I remember. It was that hard. The dude was just tough. And I stopped him because of cuts. We just kind of went at it. And then really the next one y'all will probably know is like the Josh Taylor fight. At the time, the Josh Taylor fight, that was a good, hard fight because I stopped there. I was stopping everybody. Prior to Josh Taylor, I was literally stopping everybody. And he got in there, he took him. I'm like, damn, this white boy taking these punches like, damn. I didn't think he was gonna be able to take it, and I'm not gonna lie, he wasn't like he wasn't scared of me either. Cause a lot of people I can see, all right, they kind of scared of me, you know, and I got, cause I always looked at boxing like a fight. Like, if I can hit you and hurt you and you can't hit me and hurt me, I got you. You know, cause I like the fight. That was just my whole thing. So, you know, with Josh Taylor, he wasn't scared. And I can see it in his eyes too. We did face-offs and I was like, you know, I'm cocky. I was arrogant, you know. I was
you can see at the face-off because when those eyes don't lie, right?
Yeah, he wasn't. It was like he wasn't scared either. And like we got in the fight, I'm like, all right, you gonna see. Like I'm put on your ass, boy. And then he got into it, and you know, it was.
Wasn't that fight overseas?
No, that was World Super Series.
World Super Series, the final.
Okay, yeah.
Because you went through Diaz, Ndongo, Velasco, Kel Rilich, and then you fought him. And that was one of the finals.
And Terry Flanagan too.
Terry Flanagan came in between there, yeah.
Yeah.
Terry did.
Yeah, but I stopped all of them. I stopped everybody. You know, and everybody asked me how you get known. Is like once you get on TV, I stopped everybody and I just blew.
Well, they always.
So now that you're retired, we talked a little bit before.
You're retired or you're still flirting with the situation?
I'm retired, brother.
No.
Unless we get an exhibition. Exhibition,
So you get
I
some
don't want
Pacquiao, then you
a Pacquiao, give me a Pacquiao exhibition. We get a Pacquiao exhibition, it's like, I'll do something like that, but I'm not.
But you
you're
just
smart.
absolutely know, like I've said this stuff about things, but fighting's different. You absolutely know that's it.
Yes.
Especially with the new training, people going longer in their careers in every kind of sport.
Right.
What you consider, it cracks me up when someone says someone your age is old.
Yeah.
And I go, damn, I guess you put your body through that could be so. But if you're looking at you, it looks like you could start today.
Listen, I can fight. I can still fight right now. I just don't want to. I can still do it.
That tells me is you left it all out. There's no regret. You're at peace.
Listen, bro, I wanted to retire before the fight. Before this last fight, I wanted to retire. I just was at the point, I just didn't want to do it. I woke up and I went to the gym, bro. It was a Thursday. I remember this vividly. I went to the gym. It was a Thursday. And I was there, and we always warm up on the jump rope 10 minutes. Every jump, we jump like this, boom, 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 1 foot, 1 foot, 1 foot. Every jump, I was like, I don't want to be here. Yeah. And even that day, for me, I tell you the truth, I didn't want to fight in the fight. I wanted to pull out. You got to escape, bro. I did not want to fight. Listen, the day of the fight, I wanted to pull out the fight. I did not want to do it. I'm telling you, I did not want to fight. I just was like done with it. I just didn't want to fight at all, So I'm glad I got.
I'm sure you got a calm peace now. Right?
The thing is, if I didn't though, I'll be chasing that. I'll still be chasing. I'll be out here training, trying to do all this stuff. Now, I'm satisfied with what I did. That's the thing. I have this peace over me. I'm satisfied. I'm glad that I did do it. I'm glad I got that fight the way, and I'm good. But for me, bro, I did not want to fight. I was struggling with this. This was, I'm not gonna say one of my hardest camps, but it was a hard camp.
Because you were mentally there, right? When you're mentally there, it's gonna be an uphill road.
Right.
Now, you had mentioned getting known and stopping guys. As a publicist, I always tell, my fighter, right? Because you got to do interviews and do all this stuff. And, I know you guys get burnt out doing all that stuff, but like they always said, Bob Santos, my guy, he always said the best publicity is winning in the ring, right?
Right.
So when you go in that ring and you drop somebody, you knock somebody out. I mean, what better publicity is that?
Would I rather knock somebody out, piecing them up? It depends on the opponent. It depends on if they talk and stuff like that. I didn't get a lot of people that really talk too much stuff to me. So I always got a satisfaction. I told you I like to fight. So I always got satisfaction in hurting somebody. I just like to fight. I like to hurt people. That's why I feel like I retired, because I don't hurt nobody no more. I'm just done with hurting people, right? Yeah. So, but sometimes when I show a lot of defense and be slick, that was good too. Sometimes it was even better, like my partners. So I fought in New Orleans one time, and I fought Terry Flanagan, and this was one of the first times, I was knocking everybody out, and then I went the distance with him. I went 12 rounds, but 12 beautiful. I boxed them, jabbed them, moved around, a bunch of defense. I was moving slick, and it was just it was beautiful, So that was and I showed people I could go 12 rounds too, because a lot of people think I didn't have a gas tank. Everybody was thinking, oh, he can get tired because he wasn't going to rounds. But I did that, and I like that too. So for me, it's both of them. It depends on, it really depends on night. But I did, for the most part, knocking somebody out is definitely better.
Now you mentioned your coach and manager in the beginning, but we had spoke earlier today about Bobby Benton, Aaron Navarro, and those
Right.
guys. Very, very good trainers. I know Aaron really well.
Right.
Good dude. I mean, both those guys are just down to earth, just really, really good dudes. What is your thoughts, working with them, and what do you have to say about those guys?
I mean, great guys. Both of them are great guys. I love working out there in Houston. We had like a real good program. Everything was like, for me, everything was great. Being out there, I made the move to Vegas because, of course, personal stuff, going on with that type of stuff I had, and I just wanted to get something. I wanted to get a different feel.
Yes.
I just wanted to do that. But I used to, for me, I came up and I came up boxing in Houston, and I love being out there. But for me, I came to Vegas because it was a different side. Like, one thing that changed my mind, like, I love the West Coast, bro. Like, got my mind like this, I love the West Coast. Like, I lived in LA for a
LA
while.
first, yeah.
I lived in LA for a little while.
Yeah.
And
Sherman Oaks somewhere, you went to some LA, right?
man, I was in the Valley.
Yeah, you were in the Valley, yeah.
I love
Different
living out
vibe,
there.
right?
Man,
You got a
just
boxing ring in the house, didn't you?
That's in Texas.
okay,
That's in
okay,
Texas.
But
You
the
know,
vibe, right? The California
I
vibe.
love being in LA, bro. I just loved it. And then I came out here, honestly, but I was gonna move when I was in Houston that time and I moved, I was supposed to either move to LA or either LA, Vegas, or Orlando. If I would move here, I would never left. I would never went back to Houston. I'm not gonna lie, but I went back because and for me, LA wasn't too much of the family dynamic. It wasn't good to raise kids out there. It's good for adults, but to raise the kids.
People don't believe that about Vegas. It's
No,
great
Vegas
for
on
my
the
kids.
on the
I don't know why
outskirts,
people-
Vegas is
people go,
nice.
Why? How are you gonna raise your kids there? It's not like I got my kids over in the MGM.
Right.
Yeah, they ain't on
got
the
slot
strip.
machine.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
they don't understand. We got some living.
Very,
and
very
life
nice.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
nice
Lot
on
of
the
them.
outskirts of Vegas.
Yeah, especially
Yeah.
now. It's gone kind of bonkers in every little neighborhood.
And if you're in boxing, man, Vegas is the spot.
Yeah, Vegas
Especially
is
the
fine.
sparring out here,
I had
everything.
to come out here. Once I came out here, I was like, man, this is the move I gotta make. I need to have training camp out here. Everybody's out here. Like, why? Man, one of the first times I did a training camp out here, I think one of the first days I did sparring in a gym. Man, I sparred. The first day, I think I sparred like 3 or 4 people. The first day. That first week, I sparred like 10 people, bro. Like, how much work, like all this work, It's like, it's so much work out here. So it's like, and that's how you get, I told everybody, that's how you get better. You want to spar with it. You want to keep getting different looks.
Yep.
And for me in Houston, I was getting the same looks over and over again. I was sparring with my friends, and sometimes you don't have to be better or worse, but you spar the same people. You already know what they're gonna do. I know everything they're gonna do. They know everything I'm gonna do. So
Plus you're in high elevation right now, just right here where we're standing.
What's crazy is
all
that
this
you
stuff.
can do a lot of different things and go places because we got places, all of us, other places, but it's hard for me to figure out where I would move. I sit up a lot of times and go, I'm moving from Vegas, just kind of fantasizing I'm leaving here. I keep coming back here. I'll be like, well, I can't leave here, man. I love this shit.
Yeah.
It is.
Maybe one day, I don't know.
Right,
but I'm not gonna go nowhere.
Yeah.
So that's awesome, man. So the biggest thing for me now, retirement. If you're looking at fighters today, what's the difference from when you started to now? Is it a big difference to you?
I feel like a lot of people not stopping nobody. I feel like I came up, I wanted to hurt everybody. I'm not gonna lie. I want to beat people. I want to hurt them. I want to stop people. I don't see too many people. I think everybody want to not everybody, but a lot of people want to box. And listen, we got the Floyd thing and Floyd did it, but it's like a lot of people want to, they want to have that same, blueprint, that same mentality. It's like, I want, for me, I told you, I'm a fan of killers. That's Mike Tyson, Roberto Duran, Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns.
So I would imagine Benavidez is one of your guys.
Yes, bro. I like people that's hurting people. That's why I want people.
That's my guy right there.
Right.
That's why when we watch your night before, as soon as I can, I try to go through the history of everybody that we're gonna have on the show. So, being that my family, we love the sport of boxing. I turn it on. Everybody's watching you. My wife's looking, and then we look at each other, and she goes, "Damn, that motherfucker's good." I was like, "His ass is real good, great career." So when you see these guys now, and you see a Benavidez, he's cracking people, he's breaking bones and shit.
Trying to hurt 'em.
So when
Yeah,
you
it's
see
a
this
hurt
type
game.
of fighting,
Monster.
it's a complete different situation in there. Now I know genetics may come into play, but it's also, I believe, the way people are fighting. It's the way you're saying.
Right.
People are scoring, they're boxing. I don't want to always call it running.
They're taking the
because
safe
there
route.
is defense
Right.
in it. But when you got two guys playing full-blown defense in there, it's gonna be kind of a lot of boring fights.
Right.
A lot of boring fights. I watch a lot of fights and I'll be like, I can't get my time back on that one because it's supposed to be entertainment, right?
It is. It's supposed to be entertainment for
So
everybody.
I can't tell someone how they're gonna line up in the line when you play football, how you gonna do when you swing the bat. And in boxing, a lot of people from even the corners telling somebody what to do, but you're also facing what that man's applying on you. So you're gonna also do something different sometimes than what the corner's trying to tell you.
Right.
So when the corner is telling you how to adapt or change, what percentage do you feel like most fighters listen to from their corner? Because it's, hey, do this, or go this way, or, you know, what?
I think it depends on the fighter and how much they believe in their corner, and honestly, and sometimes what's going on in the fight, you know, because it's easy for somebody on TV, the corner trainer, say, oh, do this, but you're not the one getting hit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're not you might say, oh, go this way, but I might go this way, he might hit me with a hook. You know what I'm saying? You can't get hit by that. You know, you're not getting hit, but so you don't know how that feels. So it's like a case by case thing. And how the fight is going, and you know, that's how it goes.
So if I seen you're over at Knuckleheads. I seen you there first few times. So do you work with Coach Derek over there?
I work with Derek. I'm still working with Derek. We lifting weights. Yeah, we lifting right now. Yeah.
So
I supposed to work today. Yeah, I retired, but I'm lifting weights right now. So I'm still working with Derek. Still working with Kay. I'm still
Coach
doing.
Derek he's a person that you gotta be. Really, you gotta come with it when you work.
Yeah,
with
bro. I'm not gonna lie, he pushed me. I only did 2 camps with him, bro. But we pushed those 2 camps, bro. We pushed. One day, man, like camp was so hard here. The first camp I did it with JoJo. Well, we did one before that, but it was the whole camp. Kind of left and came back. But the first camp was the JoJo camp. Listen, I came here 8 weeks out. About 2 weeks in, I thought I wasn't gonna make it. I was like, bro, I might go home. I'm like, bro, I might go home. I'm not gonna lie, bro. This shit is hard.
Training
3
camps ain't
weeks,
supposed to be comfortable.
man. It was hard. I was like, bro, this shit.
It was hot.
Man, it was hot. It was
hot.
Summertime.
It was hot.
Like oh man,
He have you back there working with in the dirt back there. I think one
yes,
day
bro.
I pulled up.
Yeah,
I pulled up one day
They had
and
me
I seen
in the
you.
dirt.
I was like, oh, they focus out there. I was like, this is serious. And that day, you had layers on, and it was hot in the motherfucker.
Man.
That day, bro.
They killed, bro. That camp was so hard. I was like, bro, I don't know how I'm gonna make it. Look,
Bunch of ice baths.
a bunch of ice, man. Listen, bro, this shit was so I came in on Sunday. I said, Kay, what time I gotta be at gym? Sunday night, like 10 o'clock. He said 5:30, 5 a.m. I'm like, 5. I ain't say that. I'm like, damn, 5 o'clock, bro. I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, shit, all right. That day, Monday, was the starter camp. That day, I did 3 sessions. That day, 5, and then back at like 12, and then back at like 8 or something like that. I'm like, he just tried to kill me. I'm like, bro, I'm thinking like, this is my first day, bro. Literally my first day at camp 3 times, because he put you in there with the people that's already in camp and stuff, you know? And to give you how hard it was, the second day, Tuesday, we get to the gym. He said, hey, come to the gym like 9 or something like that. Get to the gym, he like, yeah, go run. For a warm-up, I'm like, all right, how long? 8 miles. Bro, 8 miles for a warm-up is crazy. For the warm-up, and then we got to the gym and train. And then go back to the crib, eat, take a shower, and then back at night. Then I had to work with Derek. This was my second day of camp. I'm like, bro, ain't no way I'm gonna make it. I'm telling my sister, I'm like, my sister and myself, I'm like, bro, I don't know about this, bro. I might not go make it.
That's crazy. And this
I made it, but it was hard. It was really hard work.
So I'll give you a funny story. I said, hey, Kay, get me right so I'm just totally right. So I'm old, looking good as I get older. Kay said, okay, you serious? I said, I'm dead serious. I said, when do I start? So I hit the bag. Kay said, he went over there and he grabbed the wraps. And he said, put your hands out.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what you doing? He says, I only know what I know. If you come in here, you gotta go. Don't
Right.
come in. He said, get you right, not halfway right, a piece of right, it's all the way right. So if you're gonna come to me, this is what he said, come to get right. And I was like, I looked at my son, I said, we ain't never coming. If they ain't coming here, we gonna start at that other gym.
I have a question. Growing up in Louisiana, I'm sure it's real rough out there. I don't know what part of Louisiana you grew up in, but you know, you have a book too, yeah?
You got a book out.
Yeah, so I would
That's
imagine,
awesome.
you know, well, growing up in Louisiana, the whole hurricane stuff, what was it like? How rough was it out there? And elaborate a little bit on the book. Is there stuff in there?
Yeah, book stories and lessons. That's really so we got a part 2 coming out right now, but that's like kind of the first, it ends with me becoming a 2-time champion, basically. So yeah, just growing up, I mean, it's kind of typical, and not from Louisiana, I'm from New Orleans. We always say different. It's the same state. It's the same state,
Yeah.
but we always like people in New Orleans. They'll be like, "I'm not from Louisiana. I'm from New Orleans." We in Louisiana, but we always we from New Orleans.
Yeah, it's
you know
from
what I'm
New
saying?
Orleans.
Like we always different. But yeah, like just like I said, growing up, bro, like you gotta. How we grew up now, the kids these days, they be on iPads all day. They don't be inside. But like when we was growing up, bro, we was outside all the time, and we like I said, you had to learn how to fight, or you had to talk about somebody, or really both. I know how to do both. I know how to real people, and I know how to talk about. Know how to talk about people and fight.
You got
Yeah,
what
you gotta
we
be
called
crowned.
it was the dozens when we were young. You had to know how to crack on people.
Right.
If you don't know
got
how
to.
to, you had to crack. I told my son we would spend hours when we were young cracking on people in the South.
Right.
And you had some dudes could do it so good that it be having people going home crying. They could crack.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
You
You gotta
spend
man,
hours
look,
cracking. Like
we here below the belt.
Yeah.
Everybody here below the belt. They talk
Man,
about your mom,
I
they talk
can
about all your
relate.
personal stuff.
Yeah.
Really bad, bro. So you gotta like you be around us, bro. You gotta have some real thick skin. So I had that, and like I said, and then if it get too bad, then let's fight. Then you know that's how it gotta go. Y'all want what's up? What you want to do? You want to fight? And so that's kind of how I grew up. You know, just being like that.
And your book, what's the name of your book and where can people
It's
find
on
it?
Stories and Lessons. It's on Amazon. Stories and Lessons by Regis Prograis. The dude Ross Williams, he wrote it. On Amazon, we did a bunch of like book tours and stuff like book tours.
Stories and
Yeah,
Lessons?
Stories and Lessons, yeah. And I'm the only 2-time world champion from that city. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mhm. So
Wow.
yeah, we did that, and like I said, now it probably be turned to a movie, and we working on part 2 and all that type of stuff.
So what's the receiving going back home?
People love me, bro. Like everywhere I go, somebody know who I am.
You got a key, right? They give you a key.
I got a key to the
yeah.
city. I got a key to the city.
That's
Too many
dope.
people
Mayor
say
gave
that.
that
No,
to me.
you know.
Yo, not too many people
Yeah, man.
say that.
That's dope.
Yeah, the mayor gave me key to the city. I want to be like a politician one day in New Orleans. Maybe like the mayor of New Orleans one day. Not right now. I don't want to do it right now because it's not just New Orleans but Louisiana period is known as like a corrupt state.
Yeah, it is.
People always take all the money and
They always
do
have
what they
something.
want with it. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I feel like I don't want to do that right now. I don't.
And
want
they
people
need some
getting
of the racial stuff. It's been going too long. That thing is crazy, and it's something that's stuck there for a while. That's gotta go away.
right.
That's
Now-
gotta go away.
now
We
you-
need good people in those
Yeah.
positions.
Well said. Now, you mentioned money. We talked a little bit. What advice would you give young fighters that are about to make a big payday? You know, you seem to have done really well with your money, investing in properties. What advice would you give to some of these young guys out there that are about to get a big payday?
That's a great question, bro. First off, you gotta have good people around you. You know,
Yes.
a lot of people don't have the best people around them. But I will always say, bro, like for me, I always knew I was gonna make a lot of money. So I studied it. Like I told, I read a lot. So I studied money I studied that for a long time. But definitely gotta have good people. But if you don't, you still gotta know yourself about what to do with your own money. You know, if you
100%.
you know, you gotta know about investing and different
Taxes.
Taxes is one of the biggest things you gotta know. Learn
Yeah.
what to offset your taxes and stuff like that. Yeah, that'll kill you. But yeah, one thing I learned about early, I learned about investing because what happened to me, I went broke. You know, like so I think I used to be a personal trainer. And as a personal trainer, I didn't make a lot. I was making like $12,000 a year, $1,000 a month, right? That's not a lot of money when I was young.
Yeah.
But then I remember I made like $30,000, which is like, for me, that's like rich. You know, I was like a whole lot of money. And after that, man, my wife quit her job. I quit working. I didn't quit, but I stopped training people and stuff. We took vacations, travel, all that type of stuff. And then what happened is I got hurt in sparring because I was supposed to have a fight again. So that's why I didn't really care because I was supposed to fight again.
Yeah.
And then I was sparring and somebody thumbed me in my eye and broke my orbital bone. So I was out for like 9 months. So imagine 9 months, no income, none of that type of stuff.
Man.
And then literally all the money just went down. And so that taught me, all right, I gotta know, you know, because I gotta know what to do with my money.
Yeah.
And I just learned now I just kind of learn how to invest in, because no matter how much money you got, even if you don't know what to do with it, you can still lose it, because you just,
Right.
it's like that glass is just, it's constant
dwindling.
running out, it's not nothing coming
Lingering,
back in.
just
Yeah.
looking at it, it's
yeah,
like
it's gonna
there.
keep leaking, things happen, so you gotta know how to invest. So for me, luckily, man, like I invested, I invested for me very well, and I still got people that I got like a financial advisor do things for me, but still I know myself too. I don't just
Right.
rely on just him to
you-
make
like-
me. He's one person that can make me money, but I can make myself money too.
Right.
Even if he's not there, I can do my stuff myself.
Right, that goes to like you said, reading a lot, reading on some.
I read, I study.
all that stuff, man.
One thing I never wanted to be like, bro. I went to the Hall of Fame week in Kennesaw, New York, and you got all these great fighters, and they decrepit, they messed up. That's why I retired too. I want to speak just like
Yeah, man.
I don't want to be messed up, So,
Yep.
you got these fighters, great fighters, because they lose it all. They lose their legacy, their fame, their money. It's like, what's the point of even doing it? Like you so great, but no matter how great you are, somebody's gonna come behind you. They're gonna replace you. No matter how great you are, somebody's going to replace you. And I think a lot of old fighters, they trying to keep that legacy, but it's gonna dwindle down, and eventually they get beat up too much, they get hit in the head too much, and they end up being messed up. And then once you messed up, you don't know what to do with your money anyway. So somebody gotta kind of control it for you. So for me, I always looked at that and was like, I never want to be like that. It's the first time I fought Joel Diaz. I forgot what year it was, and I fought him, and I went to the Hall of Fame weekend. And I don't want to say no fighters' names, but I went, and I'm like, I don't want to be like them.
Yeah.
Great fighters, don't get me
Yes.
wrong, great fighters, but
They're real punchy. Some guys took too
y'all
many
messed
shots.
up. You made all this money,
Yeah.
you just messed up. Why would you want to do that? So yeah, y'all can. For me, it's like, y'all
Yeah.
can have that.
So-
I want to invest, and I'm be good, and I want to
Be at
of
peace.
course, I can still fight. Like people, they like, why you don't fight? I can still fight, of course. I can fight right now, but and I always fought with so much heart to where like, I'm not gonna quit, bro. Like I'm literally, you can hit me with a hammer in my face. If I'm up, I'm gonna keep going.
Right, which
I'm
could be
I'm
real
never
dangerous.
It's dangerous for me. I
Yeah.
know I'm a danger to myself, so that's why I'm like, I'd rather just give it up before I really, really get hurt.
Smart.
That's why.
Gotta know when to say when. I'm gonna have you hit you with one last question. Who is the best fighter right now in this moment? In their game as of today? Because it switches, but who is the best fighter
The best one?
right now? Overall arsenal, and what they bring into the table.
Man.
4 letters. It's a nickname.
There's one that just fought this Saturday.
Tank Usyk.
Bam just fought. Bam's a bad boy.
Bam's all right. Bam
Bam's
did show.
good.
Yeah.
You got the
Tank
monster.
Stone's been crazy to me.
You got Bud.
Dang.
Well,
Bud done.
Bud's
But
done.
I would say
Bud
Bud, but
Yeah,
Bud
he's
done.
retired.
For me, I
Bud,
would say Bud
Shakur.
for sure.
Usyk.
Right now,
Shakur,
active.
it's like Shakur's up there.
Inoue's out there. The monster.
Yeah. Benavidez.
Yeah,
Yes.
Benavidez. I always look at like the resumes of the people that are actively fighting right now and look at their records and who they beat and all the guys that they beat, who's actually going to the Hall of Fame from that record.
Usyk.
Exactly.
Usyk.
So that's your guy.
Usyk. I mean,
Right.
Usyk's
if
been
you
Hall of Famer, went
you
to
say that,
different country.
Usyk beat everybody.
Yeah,
Right?
in their country.
Who Usyk didn't beat?
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I gotta say Usyk.
Yeah.
Like I would say like somebody like Shakur too. Shakur's skill-wise, Shakur's very good, but resume-wise, you
Yeah.
can't go
Man,
against Usyk.
first of all, you're extremely articulate. You know the game. We got to have you on the show to come in and do some, because you understand the whole transition of where it's at right now.
Right.
You're fresh-minded. You're fair about who you are. You said some things that a lot of people don't say. Like you said, you didn't feel that early on. You didn't feel you won, even though people thought they
yeah.
said that you won.
Right,
A lot of people, when people say that, they're gonna say, "Yeah, I felt I won too."
Yeah.
You know.
Keeping it real.
Right.
And when you got
Keep it
people
real.
who is reasonable, those are the keep it real people without being overly, brassy with who you
Right.
are. But your ring generalship, things that I've seen that you've done in your career, super stand out. I think it could have been a lot more talked about, in my opinion, because you go out there, the style, obviously you said you looked at a lot of different fighters, but you brought some real unique things to the ring. You go back, look at your fights, very dominant in a lot of areas, very unique in a lot. And another thing I noticed that when you fight, you having fun.
Yeah, I loved it.
You could tell you were having fun. You weren't just fighting.
Yeah.
I was like, man, that dude.
That's one thing
It's like
did.
he's having
I was
fun.
doing an interview, and like, for me, like when I show my teeth, when I'm smiling, that's when you know like I'm probably gonna be dangerous, cause I'm having fun. I'm smiling. Like when I'm like talking and stuff, I had an interview about that, and like I remember when I fought Devin, and I got the mic and that fuck the hate. I can curse, right?
Yeah.
I was like fuck the hate and stuff. That wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't. You know, cause I was just like I got caught in the moment of saying that type of stuff. But bro, when I'm like smiling, you see my teeth, I'm like, all right, I'm about to be dangerous. You know, cause I'm like going out there, I'm about to have fun. You know, boxing was fun. Boxing was always fun for me. That's why I retired, cause I didn't want to. It wasn't fun anymore. You know, but like boxing was always just. It was a fun thing for me to do. I just love fighting.
Your kids gonna do it?
I don't want them to.
They want. That's like my son. I didn't want him to.
I don't want them to.
One last thing, your nickname. Elaborate a little.
Rougarou.
Elaborate on that.
It's like
human body or a wolf body?
It's like a wolf body
with the human
yeah,
head.
It's like the boogeyman of the swamp in Louisiana.
Human body.
Yeah,
wolf
the
head.
boogeyman. Yeah, the boogeyman of the swamp.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people
Louisiana.
always wonder, what does that mean?
Scary.
Right?
Yeah.
Scary.
So it's the boogeyman of the swamp.
The boogeyman. They
Swamp
it's
man.
like the boogeyman of the swamp is like a werewolf boogeyman type of
Yeah,
thing.
werewolf.
What would they say? It's like a French name and stuff like that. But
Folklore, yeah.
yeah, French folklore type of thing. But yeah, it's what they would tell the kids they don't want to go to sleep or whatever to get a Rougarou, they gonna get you. That type of stuff. They actually have a Rougarou fest in New Orleans.
That's
somewhere
crazy.
in Louisiana somewhere.
That's
They have
awesome.
a Rougarou fest.
So he likes scaring you to death before he lay you out.
That's kind
He's
of
got the nice dream walks too. He used to walk out with the outfits.
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
I still got a damn big old wolf. We brought out a big old costume, bro. That shit was expensive, like $50,000 for that damn thing.
What?
Yeah, for a big wolf. I got to get the creator. He still got it in Rhode Island or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah. Yeah, I
Well,
gotta
hey,
find a way to use it at though.
We enjoyed you here today, man.
Thank
I
you,
appreciate
buddy.
you. Thanks
Yes,
for
sir.
coming in.
Yep.
Yes, sir, my friend.
It's
Yep.
an amazing show. I hope you guys
Real
got a
one.
lot out of that here on the Global Boxing Network. Let's take them out, man. You're going to take them out this time. You want me to do it?
You guys like, subscribe,
Yeah, sure, go
follow,
ahead.
buy the book.
Go ahead, cook. Take us out.
All right, from the GBN, we are out. We had Regis Prograis, Mario Serrano, Professor Onassis. If you are watching this, go to Amazon. Buy the book, Regis Prograis. And watch out for the Rougarous in your dreams and nightmares.
Yeah.
You know,
Remember
like
to-
the exhibition with Pacquiao.
remember-
Pacquiao, we got
Like-
Pacquiao,
Pacquiao
Broner,
exhibition.
Mayweather, anyone who wants to mix it
Right,
up for
right.
make some money
Pacquiao
together.
brought yeah.
And some things you got to remember.
Yep. Like, subscribe,
Follow.
and follow us across all social media platforms.
And Radium Plus. Let's go.